We've got some breaking news here on the channel. The New York Knicks have finally signed someone to their last veteran minimum deal, and it is a familiar face as Landry Shamet is putting pen to paper to rejoin the Knicks on a one-year deal. We're going to break it down in totality, but first, this is why you subscribe to the channel. When the Knicks make a move, we make a video. We have been following this storyline every single day for the last couple of months. We wanted Landry Shamet to be a Knick, and he is a Knick once again. So if you want free videos every day on your basketball team, hit that sub button right now. Help us get to our goal of 80,000 subscribers. Landry Shamet, you are a New York Knick once again. You are watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rolling in as we break it down. Landry Shamet is once again a member of this awesome basketball team, something we had been hoping for over the last couple of months, and the saga has come to a close. And I think there is a couple of different reasons why the New York Knicks ended up here today. Let's start with this. Ian Begley saying Landry Shamet had other options, but prioritized continuity in returning to the Knicks. He wanted to return to a locker room he liked and to help the New York Knicks compete for a title. Shamet and the Knicks will agree on a one-year deal. The Knicks have enough room for a rookie veteran minimum under the second apron. They had enough room. Now, at this point, yes, he is correct. They have enough room for a rookie veteran minimum deal. They no longer can offer a veteran minimum deal up to this point. We told you guys that Landry Shamet was liked within the locker room, that he wanted to be here, and here we are. Reported. He wanted to be in a locker room he liked and wants to help this team compete for a title. Tommy Beer, one of the best follows on New York Knicks Twitter. Go give him some love. Saying, over the New York Knicks' final 10 regular season games, Landry Shamet averaged 12.2 points per game, 3.3 made trays, and 22.6 minutes per game, while shooting 49% from the floor and 49% from deep and 100% from the free throw line. Also adding the only other player to average more than 7 made three-pointers per 36 minutes over last season in the final 10 contests was a guy by the name of Steph Curry, the best shooter to ever touch a basketball. I'm not saying Landry Shamet is Steph Curry, but it's pretty cool to see his name alongside the greatest to ever shoot it. Tommy also adding the only other Knick reserve to ever average more than 3 triples and shoot above 49% from downtown over any 10-game span was Steve Novak in 2012. Once a Knick, always a Knick. Shout out to Steve Novak, a key part of that team, and I'm happy that Landry Shamet is back as well. I love this move for the New York Knicks. Is Landry going to be a guy that puts you over the top? Not necessarily. I don't know who was going to be that player for the 14th spot on this roster, with the Knicks only having the opportunity to hand out a veteran minimum deal. This is a player that battled through some adversity at the start of the 2024 and 2025 season for the New York Knicks. Suffered that major shoulder injury that he worked his tail off to get back from. That was something that was really liked inside the New York Knicks building. And he may have even came back a little bit too soon, because when you talk about the difference in the way he finished the season compared to the start, it's a major difference. And we also saw in the playoffs, he was able to contribute. He shot 53.8% from downtown against the Indiana Pacers. And he also had a team-high net rating, meaning when Landry Shamet was on the floor, scaled out over 100 possessions, the Knicks scored more points with him in the lineup compared to the Indiana Pacers than anybody else on this team. We talked about it, the shoulder injury. It was a major impact, and it had a huge impact on the way he was able to shoot it from deep. Shot just 30.6% in his first 22 games as a Knick. Got healthy, started to feel comfortable, found a role, and he trusted himself. Ended up shooting 42.5% from distance in the final 28 games for the Knicks. And he did it on good volume as well, almost shooting 4.5 threes per night. I was also impressed with Landry Shamet with his ability for his name to be called on, even though DNPs were stacking up, and he was able to contribute. He is a pro's pro. He is ready when his name was called. I remember going to the game against the Indiana Pacers back in February, and he was a player that was working just as hard as any of the starters in the pregame routine. He was out of the rotation essentially at that time, but he put in the work, so when his number was called, he was ready to rock and roll. And he can contribute on defense as well. This is someone that's going to grind. He's going to work. He has an ability to fight over screens, work through traffic, navigate a muddy defensive side of the floor, and give it his all. Is he a stopper? No. Is he someone that you're going to throw on another opposing team's best offensive player? No. But he's going to work his tail off, and he's going to give you everything you got. And I think that's all anybody can ask for. Against the Indiana Pacers, he was the best player on the Knicks roster when it comes to defensive rating, meaning when he was on the floor, the Indiana Pacers scored their least amount of points per 100 possessions. That means something to me. You played big-time hoops in a big-time setting. He was a part of that five-man lineup that featured Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns, Landry Shamet, DeLon Wright, and Mikal Bridges, and they were able to go and score points, and they were honestly the most successful Knicks lineup in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, do I want him playing all that many minutes in the conference finals this year? Probably not. But I know if his number is called, he'll be able to go out there and be able to contribute. And I want people that want to be here. Like we saw, Ben Simmons, the Knicks were trying to sign him. I know it was reported they offered him a deal. They didn't offer him a deal. I don't think it's any coincidence that a report came out that Ben Simmons denied the deal, and then 2 days later, the New York Knicks end up signing Landry Shamet. They could have signed Shamet last week. They could have signed Shamet last month. They could have signed Shamet to a veteran minimum deal on the first day of free agency. Why did they do it today? I think it's because they knew the Ben Simmons possibility had come to a close, and they probably also got informed that Malik Beasley is going to sign somewhere else for a little bit more cash. So I want people that want to be here. Shamet reportedly this week said he's been working out in New York City, hoping to return, and here he is, and we're extremely happy about it. Grade the signing of Landry Shamet for me. Get out your red pen and be honest with me. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the signing of Landry Shamet. A couple more thoughts coming up in a second, but don't think, buy. Save yourself a lot of money. This hoodie, it was $80. Now it's just $47. You can get it today. Chatsports.com/NYK hoodie. That's chatsports.com/NYK hoodie /. Don't forget that / on the end, or you won't be able to get this awesome deal. One more time, chatsports.com/NYK hoodie /. So we went out and we updated the New York Knicks roster today. A new look at their depth chart. I assume the starting lineup is going to be Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson. Leaving you with a bench unit of Miles McBride, Tyler Kolek, Jordan Clarkson, Landry Shamet, Josh Hart, Pacome Dadier, Gershon Yabusele, and Ariel Hukporti. The Knicks officially have 14 players on their roster. You could start the season with 14 players, but there does come a point throughout the regular season you got to roster 15 players. The Knicks probably won't make that happen until they have to, and then they will have 3 two-way deals as well. You could see a guy like Kevin McCullough Jr. on that. You could see Mohamed Diawara sign a two-way deal for the New York Knicks, or maybe even a guy like James Naji, who they do own the rights to. So we're getting closer and closer to the roster being set, which means the regular season is almost here. It's time to go to work. This is the squad that we are all hoping is going to put a banner on the rafters at Madison Square Garden. And the season is right around the corners, ladies and gentlemen. We are less than 2 weeks away, right? We are less than 2 weeks away from Knicks training camp opening up. That will start on September 24th. And that's the first time it starts to feel like New York Knicks basketball is officially back. Then 10 days from that, you have your first preseason game. The New York Knicks will take on the Philadelphia 76ers on October 2nd. Then 20 days from then, your first regular season game. 1 of 82, October 22nd, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The two teams in the Eastern Conference that have the best odds to get to the NBA Finals. and it'll be a match of a potential Eastern Conference Finals preview. After the signing of Landry Shamet, my question to you is this. What's your biggest concern with this roster? What are they lacking? Where do they need to pick it up? What's the biggest need left on this basketball team after the signing of Landry Shamet? I kind of just go back to this. Landry Shamet wanted to be here. People inside the building and people on the team wanted Landry Shamet to be here. That matters. That matters to Leon. That matters to Worldwide Wes, Brock Auer, Gerson Rosas, and least importantly, it matters to me. I want people here that want to wear New York across their chest. And I'm glad Landry Shamet's going to be doing that this year. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. News of the day, Landry Shamet is back on the Knicks. He fills their final 14th roster spot. They could sign one more player to a veteran minimum rookie deal, and they have 3 two-way contracts to hand out. It's almost that time. New York Knicks basketball, it's almost back.